John Henderson Pierre back. Another beer ramble, and today we're looking at Goodwood red wine barrel saison, a saison ale or farmhouse ale, it's like to be called. 5.2% alcohol by volume, or 5.2% ABV, or how I always like to say ABV by volume, just blabbling away. But anyway, um, has not been reviewed by the folks at Beer Advocate or the Alston brothers, the Bros. Um, it's a 26 score for the style and a 50 score overall on Rate Beer. As we take a look what the beer looks like. It looks almost like your standard. The interest of this beer, Saison, is aged in a wine barrel, red wine barrel, I should say, to give it a nice distinctive taste. And or a barrel that had Cabernet Sauvignon on it. So figured to combine flavors of that to give it maybe a little more potency to it, I guess. Goodwood Brewery in Louisville, Kentucky. As you can see, what the beer looks like. No lacing. The scent. It does have the scent of a Cabernet. Obviously, it doesn't look like it, but it does have that scent since it is aged in that. The beer was aged inside of a barrel, what most of their beers are. There's a little hints of grape in this scent. Firmness. Definitely smells some hops in this beer. Some yeast. It's quite strong, even for a 5.2% beer. So down the hatch. You do get some of those after effects of like you're tasting a red wine of a Cabernet. Again, which is not what this beer is, but again, being barrel, and those flavors are right there on the tongue. Some tartness to it. It's a unique, interesting combination. But hmm. What, another game in London? Damn. I'm looking at the NFL. They have another game next week in London. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's like 3 or 4 already. Anyway, the globalization of the NFL around the world. Again, as I mentioned, the brewery is based in Louisville, Kentucky, and of course, when people think of Louisville, Kentucky, they don't think beer. They think obviously bourbon. Um, many distilleries in that area, and probably one of the more interesting cities. I was in Lexington. This is obviously for an unfortunate situation when I was in Lexington back in 2006. But we had drove down into the city, and there was a lot of good things seem to be happening in that area. A lot of excitement, a lot of great restaurants and things. Some of them we didn't go to, but they were there. But anyway, um, but every place you go, I mean, obviously the sign, bourbon, Jim Beam, or this, or Jack Daniels, this and that, everywhere. I mean, just all these different signs and all these different play folks who are um, making bourbon there, but also it was a good restaurant scene, good food city. Um, so now that's Lexington. Haven't been to Louisville. Would love to go to Louisville at one point in my lifetime soon. But getting back to this, again, they brew all their beers are aged in barrels, bourbon barrels. Some, as was this one, this was aged in a barrel that has that stored Cabernet Sauvignon. So you get some of those flavors already in this. It's interesting. It's something I've never tried before. I could again. I meant holiday thing, but it's as I said, tartness to it. It's refreshing. It's good. I would say for the fall. Um, Not I wouldn't say good right now this time of year. I mean not good for the summer, but it'd be more perfect for a fall beer than anything. I mean it's okay. I mean I'm not gonna rave about it because I never had this style, so I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. But it's all right. Um, there's another saison farmhouse ale I had I thought was really good. Probably be a little better than this, and that was the not Stillwater, but yeah, I think yeah, it was the Stillwater, based in Maryland. Um, a saison farmhouse ale I had, and that was really good. And that was a little bit stronger alcohol in there. There was like 6.6 or 6.5, and I said, I can deal with that. That's pretty good. So, um, pairings with this again, Colby cheese. You can pair it with uh, Fontina cheese, Parmesan, a little nutty, more full body cheese. That would go well with it. Salad, anything poultry, shellfish. I mean, mussels can go good with this. Um, or oysters. I mean, I would be those probably the two. So it's a good, decent beer. I was at 5.2, not too strong. I mean, it's reasonable. So again, first I'm having the style. I think it's okay, not great. I'm gonna give this a yeah, I'm saying it's okay. I'm gonna give this a C plus. I mean, I'm not gonna go head over gaga over this. C plus for this. It's unique is different. I have to have more or others similar to this to get my head say, yeah, maybe. But it's just an interesting take. It's just the flavors seem to be, you know, tastes like I said. It's just the tartness and the grape. It has the flavors that you are drinking a Cabernet. It's not a Cabernet, but you have those remnants of it. Obviously, again, being from a barrel. I, I'm just like, yeah, all right, it's okay, but not, you know. Someone said, I will get you again. I'll get you again, but probably won't be. Will be later down the road, not sooner. So, C plus for me on this one. So I guess that would be a 7.5 score. So, anyway, if you had this and you think it deserves a C plus or higher or a lower score, leave your thoughts and comments on the bottom. John Anderson, Pierre, the Beer Ramble team. Keep on watching, and as always, cheers.